My camera is working. Okay, so welcome to this week's STI Unleashed Training Academy. We are on the second week of our Getting Started Right program. So for those of you who joined us last week for the first session, welcome back. And if you didn't attend the game plan session, the first session of your Getting Started Right program, please go back to your mentor and make sure that you get that done. The conversation about responsibility and creating time management and for creating your why and all of those things are really, really important. So this week we're on the next step, which is essentially making your names list, creating a contact list, and how to go about that process. So the statement that the woman that wrote Get Over Your Damn Self, Romy, she said that your list is your life. So you want to make it long. And I believe that that's very, very true. And I also believe that in the industry of network marketing, there's probably nothing that gets overlooked or stepped over more than the contact list. It's really like the foundation that you have to use to build your business on. And the biggest mistake that I see people making is they try to build the foundation of their business they try to build their business without the foundation, which is the contact list. So tonight we're going to teach you how to get started right with your contact list, and then how to make your contact list a living, breathing document that you can carry with you into the future. So it's not just you make it once and then use it up and then set it to the side. We're going to teach you how to be a network marketing professional, which means you will never fear running out of contacts because you know how to constantly keep updating and evolving your contact list throughout the future of your business as well. So let's dive right in. This is a great quote by one of my virtual mentors, Robert Kiyosaki, author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, the biggest selling personal finance book in history. He says that the richest people in the world look for and build networks. Everyone else looks for work and builds someone else's business. Okay. And this is why I believe network marketing is not perfect, but as Eric Worre says, it's a better way. And that's because you can get all the benefits of being a business owner, of being a big entrepreneur and building a business that can create financial freedom for yourself and your future at a lower cost. But one of the things that you have to do in the very beginning is switch from that employee mindset of looking for work and building somebody else's business to being the CEO of your business and really looking to grow that network. So in USANA, obviously, we have some of the best nutritional products in the world. We're a product-focused company. We're an education-focused company. And, getting preferred customers, getting people on the products is a huge part of what we do and how we make our business sustainable. But the reality is, if you want to scale, if you really want to create that leveraged income that gives you the financial freedom that I know most of you, if you're here, want, building the network is really your access to being able to do that. So tonight we're going to talk about how to create your contact list so that you can begin building your own personal empire. So like we said, your list is your life, right? So you want to make it a long one. Okay. Now I will say this, making your names list is not a quick process, right? You're not going to sit down, bang it out, move on. Okay. We really do want you to actually take this time, slow down, and make a comprehensive list. Do it once, and then use that as a launch pad to start your business, right? You don't just want to tick this box to get your mentor off your back. You really want to use this as an opportunity for you to get really present to all of the contacts and communities and networks that you're already plugged into. Okay, so the first thing that is kind of a mindset shift, that I mentioned before, but that your contact list is not just a list that you make on a piece of paper and then you kind of check people off as you go along, and at some point you're going to reach at the end of that document, right? The contact list, as we're going to teach you how to do it, is a living, breathing document. Okay, and what that means is it's alive. It means you're constantly updating it. You're constantly revisiting it, right? As you meet people in your life, as you're prospecting, as you're meeting people at networking events, as you're meeting people in social groups, on social media, all of those things, you're going to be constantly updating it. So it's a live document. So you want to be consulting it when you're doing your daily method of operation every single day, and then you also want to be updating it when you do your at least 5 new people every day as part of your DMO. You want to update your contact list, and then keep tweaking that. And I like this saying, right? That your list is like your piggy bank. You want to really keep it full all the time by keep adding money to it, right? That's how you get that compound interest, because that's really what is going to pay you off. It's what's going to pay off big time in the future, is the continuing to invest in the contact list. So this is one of the most common things that we hear people say, is when they sit down to make their contact list, they kind of get a mental block, right? And some people say, well, I don't really know that many people. And we don't buy that. Okay, so there's a lot of research has shown that most people, they know over 2,000 people by the time they're 18. My guess is that with the social media world, that number is a lot higher. So if you look at people's Facebook pages, their Instagram pages, their social media, a lot of times they have 2, 3, 4, 5,000 followers, 6,000 followers. I've only been doing Instagram for the last like 2 or 3 years, and last time I checked, I'm a little over 20,000 followers on there, right? So these things grow organically, and that's why you have to really sit down and map out all the different communities that you're in, because you know way more people than you think you do. So the next thing is really the mindset shift, okay? And this I think is the most critical thing in the beginning, is seeing your contact list and growing your contact list really as an opportunity to expand not only your network but yourself, right? So let's take, for example, say you don't know that many people. Okay, let's grant you that. So then if you don't know many people, and that's just the way that it is, then what there is to do is meet more people, right? So you want to see that really as an opportunity for you to get outside of your comfort zone. Maybe if you don't know that many people, that means that you probably haven't been engaged in a lot of social things, right? So this is a really great opportunity for you to start looking at creative and effective ways to plug into different meetups, different groups, different things, so that you can grow your network, which is obviously going to require you getting outside of your comfort zone and you growing yourself as well. So the first thing that we want you to do when you're sitting down is not necessarily just start writing names, but actually just map out, right? You can draw a little circle in the middle of the page that says you, and then you can start doing the little bubbles, right? You probably did that when creative writing when you were younger. Actually start mapping out the different communities that you're in, right? Do you have a spiritual community? Do you have a athletic community? What high school did you go to? What are the things that you do for fun, right? Do you play badminton? Do you play soccer? Are you somebody that's into running? Do you like reading books? All the things that you like doing. My guess is that you have some sort of community of people that you refer to for advice, or just hang out with, and around the different interests and hobbies and stuff that you have. So think of all the communities that you belong to. And once you have this new mindset of looking at this as an opportunity to grow, not as a limitation, um, your mind has something called an RAS, which is it's called a reticular activation system. And what that is, it's a particular part of your brain that's sort of dialed in to searching for, without, you have no control over this, but it actually scans your environment and it looks for the things that you're interested in, right? So if you're hungry, for example, so your RAS was developed thousands of years ago so to help you survive, right? So if you're in the African desert, you're going to be looking for things like things that can kill you and food that you can eat and water that you can drink, right? So your mind is tuned into that. So obviously we live in a different world these days, but we still have desires and things that we want, right? So whether you know it or not, that part of your brain is constantly going out into your environment and looking for things that you want. So if you can get yourself into this mindset of looking for opportunities and looking for creative ways, not to get customers or to recruit people, okay? That's not what we're talking about. You want to look for creative ways to meet new people, right? To build relationships. So if you can get yourself in that kind of mindset, your brain will start naturally looking for ways to do that. And then that's when that's the beautiful time, because instead of your brain looking for all the reasons why you can't do this business and all of the excuses that come up, you'll start naturally looking for ways that you can make it work. And this is the sweet spot. You want to make sure you update your list weekly and really seek out new ways of meeting people, right? We talked about that. And the reality is, we're social animals. That's just who we are, right? So the world is full of people, and you will never, I promise you, run out of people to talk to, especially after you have this mindset shift. You don't have to worry about running out of people to talk to. So a great way to do this is to use something called the memory jogger. Okay, so please ask your coach about the memory jogger and the GoPro book. These are the two things that go together. The author of GoPro, Eric Worre, he's the #1 skills trainer, or the #1 trainer in network marketing. He wrote a book called GoPro, which is really the Bible of the network marketing industry. That's where everybody goes as a reference. And he also created something called the memory jogger, which is a separate document that basically goes over how to create. It's a very comprehensive way for how to create your names list. So that's a great reference to go to when you sit down to create it. It has every possible kind of person that you could ever meet in your life, your baker, your lawyer, your accountant, your everything that you could possibly have. And it's designed to do exactly what it says, jog your memory. Because when you start thinking about, oh, I forgot about, you remember this person. Oh, you remember this person. Oh, your sister has a chiropractor. Oh, your uncle is this, right? As you go through this process, you're going to start remembering so many more people, right? When you get onto Facebook and you start looking at your friends, for example, you'll be like, oh my God, I haven't talked to him in so long. Oh, I haven't talked to this person. And you're going to start remembering, oh my God, I have all these people that are in my life that I just haven't connected with in a while. So this is step 1, is to create your master's list. Okay. So, and the master list is really, your contact list is not the people that you think are going to be interested in the business or be interested in the product. Okay. That's why a lot of people say, oh, they don't know that many people. What they mean is, I don't think I know that many people who are going to be interested in this. Okay. You don't want to play that game. Okay. You want to bracket any thought or limiting belief or conversation that you have in your head about who's going to be interested and not, and just write down everybody. Okay. It doesn't mean that you're going to contact everybody. It's just an exercise of dumping, like brain dumping, right? Mind dumping. And then you can sift them between hot and cold. The hottest people are like your best friend, your parents, your mom, dad, like the people that are closest to you. And then you can make, hot, warm, cold, like that. So again, don't prejudge, okay? A lot of the people that you think might be interested in this will not be interested. It just happens, just part of the process. And then some of the people, a lot of times the most successful people that you know that maybe you're afraid to talk to, you think, oh, they already have a business, they're already successful, they won't be interested in this. A lot of times those are the people that are actually interested, and you don't want to miss out on having someone who can have a huge impact on the growth of your business because of your limiting belief that they won't be interested. So don't prejudge. And try not to decide if you think someone's just going to be a customer or a business person. Okay? Because remember, when we're connecting with people, we're not trying to sell them a product or get them to join the business. We're simply connecting with them, right? And then we'll decide what direction we want to go as the conversation goes on. Okay? Now, sometimes we'll do little campaigns where we're looking for customers, or we're looking for people to join us in the business specifically, but those are anomalies, right? In general, when you're meeting somebody at the grocery store, or you're meeting a new person on social media or whatever, you wanna not be trying to figure out what box they're gonna go into, and just meet them as a person. So you're not a mind reader, okay? Don't try to do that, right? Because you're going to get in your own way. And you don't want to try to tailor the conversation in any particular direction. Just let it flow. So we mentioned this, right? The goal is really to just brain dump, to empty your mind out onto paper. So here are the 7 sort of easiest ways that I have found to be able to make these lists. You want to start. I always like to start with hot and then move out, right? So family, mom, dad, brothers, sisters, right? And then next level, aunt, uncle, right? Cousins. And then move out from there, nephews, nieces, like that, right? So that you're moving out. And then from there, you can think about who they know, right? Not only your family, but who does your family know? Not only your friends, but who do your friends know, right? So this is really, you want to start there. And then you can go through if you have an address book. Some people, address books are kind of a thing of the past. But if you have an address book, or what are those things? Rolodex, right? Where you keep all of your contacts, you can do that. Also, your email. Right, you can go back and look at your email list, the people that you communicate with on a regular basis, and then also if you use WhatsApp, depending on where you are in the world, WhatsApp is owned by Facebook, right? They own WhatsApp and Instagram, and a lot of times these things are integrated. So we in our team use a lot of WhatsApp, and like WhatsApp groups and everything. So I don't know how many contacts I have, but it's a lot, right? So that's a great thing to do, is go through and just write them down. Write down name by name, just write them down. And then social media, okay? Now, this can be a little bit more time consuming, but I think it is an amazing process. If you are if you're willing to sit down and go through this, I actually found a way, with my friend Dan, I keep an Excel file. That's how I use for my contact list. Actually, not only looking at all the different people that follow me and the people that I'm following, but actually going through and clicking on the person, and then taking what's it called? The URL for their name, and actually putting it right into my contact list as their name, so that as I'm going through my contact list, I can just literally click on my file and it goes to their Instagram directly. Same thing with Facebook. So learning all these sort of creative and interesting ways to keep updating the contact list, and actually really making it a live document in that sense. So you have Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. If you use Pinterest, am I missing any of the big ones? You can also, I use meetup.com. This is a really great way of finding communities of people that are into what you're into, especially if you're into some like esoteric things. You like going to movies, or you like cooking, or you like watching you know, thrillers from the 50s, you know, things like that. There are meetup groups for everything, you know, and these are really great ways that you can meet new people. So all of your social media, get them down, right? Take the time. You'll love yourself for it afterwards. And then we mentioned this before, but actually create a mind map of all the different communities that you're in, and then start thinking about who are the most influential people in that community, and then who are the people that you know. And then if you're somebody like me who, excuse me, attends a lot of networking events, basically, you know, every time you talk to a new person, you always exchange business cards. So I have an insane stack of business cards. And every time I go to a networking event, without fail, I always immediately come home and put every single one of those people into a contact list. So if you have a lot of business cards laying around, just put them into the list. So like we said, it takes a while to make the list, but once it's made properly, it really is the solid foundation on which you can build your business, okay? And when it's done, and you can just, boom, you can get right into action and really make it happen. So let's take a look at the action steps. You want to take down a pad of paper and a pen and write down everybody that you know, right? If you want to use the Excel file, you can do that. The next thing is, once you have that comprehensive list created and it's sort of segmented out into your different communities, you want to go through and put stars next to your top 30 dream team, right? And these are people that you'd love to work with, right? For whatever reason, you think they're amazing, you think they're hilarious, they have a lot of influence, this is my favorite one, right? They have a track record of proven success. Okay, Simon Chan, if you guys know Simon Chan, he's the number two rated trainer for network marketing, and he's actually a diamond director in USANA as well. So he's actually part of our tribe. He actually says that when people first start approaching other people to talk about USANA, he calls it SOW, so. And you have successful people that are on the same level, and people that are worse than you. Okay, it's probably not the best way to think about it, but that's the way that we think about it. And he says that the biggest mistake that people make is they focus on the O and the W, people that are on the same level or people that are worse than them, because they have influence over them. And it's not that you don't want to talk to those people, but a lot of times who gets left off the list? The S, which are the successful people. These are your entrepreneurs. These are your doctors, your lawyers, the people that have already had success in other industries. And a lot of times, you know, if you can get one or two of these people, they can have the biggest influence on the growth of your business. So you don't want to miss out on them because of your limiting belief. It's better to write them down and then ask your mentor to either contact them for you or teach you how to do that, to contact some of these people who you feel are out of your league. People that have magnetic personalities, they're influencers in their community or influencers on social media. They're people that get stuff done. They're fun to work with. They're really people that you would consider your ideal business partner. You know, like, I don't know if they'll be interested, but man, I would just so love working with that person. So it doesn't matter whether you think, again, that they're going to be interested or not, right? It's not the point, right? You want to put a star down next to your top 30 dream teamers, and then don't worry about what you're going to do with it, okay? That's our job as your coaches. We're going to teach you and train you what to do with that, okay? Your job is just to follow directions in the beginning. The next thing is called your dirt list, right? And these are the people who love and support you so much that even if you were selling dirt, they would want to support you. Okay, these are like your mom, your dad, grandparents, your siblings, your BFFs, the people that are the closest to you, right? These are people that you want to really identify, and a lot of times in the beginning, the people that are closest to you are oftentimes the most difficult. We're kind of nervous about that. So in my opinion, these are great people that you can ask to take trials of the products for you to sort of launch your business. It's a great way for you to go to them and say, hey, I've just started a new business. I'm really excited, but I need some people to help me trial the products, maybe a multivitamin and a fish oil and some of the shakes, and take it for a month and give me their feedback. You know what I mean? This is a really great way of getting your products out there, getting people on them, people that like, and trust on them, and really just ask them essentially to be doing a favor for you to help you launch your business. You will be shocked how many people would be willing to, pay 50, 60, $100 to help somebody that they really care about get their business off the ground. So this is a really great list. Your dirt list calls are with your mentor, okay, when you first learn. So not only are these great people to go to because they just want to support you, but also they're great people to practice on, right? I don't know how that's sort of the best way to think about it. It's a great way for you to learn in like a no pressure environment where you can be relaxed. You can just let them know, look, I'm new at this. I want you, please meet my coach, meet my business partner. I'm learning how to do this. He's gonna sort of walk you through what the company is and what the products are. And it's a great way for me to learn. So, just ask them, thank you so much for meeting him. It's a relaxed way of helping you learn on the learning while doing. And this is the earn while you learn method, right? Network marketing is very unique and it's very interesting because it's kind of like, they say it's like a personal development program with a compensation plan attached. So the beauty is, when you go to graduate school, if you're going to become a professor, a doctor, a lawyer, you have to take multiple years to get that degree and then pay it off when you're finished, and you don't get anything in the meantime, right? Network marketing, if you put 4 or 5 years into this, you can be making a full-time income before you finish like your master's degree in network marketing, and it won't take you nearly as long as it would to get a graduate degree in anything else. So this is a great way, your dirt list, to get your first few customers. Some of them will probably be interested in potentially working with you. Okay, so it's a great way to get a few of your closest girlfriends or your closest guy friends to say, okay, I'm into it. Let's roll. Also a great place for referrals, right? So if you go to people that are in your hot circle, this is a great place to go to them and say, hey, how about your dentist? How about your doctor? Do you know anybody that's unwell at the moment? Or do you know anybody that's looking for an opportunity? Or who do you know? Right? You can really go to them and ask them for referrals. Very powerful. And at this point in your business, it's okay that you don't know that much, right? Your business partner is going to do most of the talking. So your job in the beginning, when it comes to talking to the people that are closest to you, is simply to just say you started something new, you're really excited, and you want to know if you can share a little bit with them, and introduce your business partner. Okay, your business partner does most of the talking, and then you're going to be doing the learning. They call that, it's what we call ABC, or edification, right? A, B, C. It's like a triangle of trust, right? You're the associate, your mentor is the bridge, and C is your potential customer. Okay, your job is to take the relationship that you have with C and build respect for your mentor, so that when your customer or your C talks to your mentor, the bridge, they already have a background of relatedness. There's some connection there because you've said good things about your coach to your friend. It's a great way to build that bridge in the beginning. Okay, the next part is what we call your chicken list. Okay, now these are the people that you really want in your business, but you're terrified to talk to them, right? Maybe they're like super successful, or they were like the popular kid in school and you weren't, or, for whatever reason, you are just scared to talk to this person. Okay. This is people that you make sure that you write down. Okay. Because some of these people will be interested, and you are going to miss out on having a huge business partner or great um, preferred customer simply because you're scared to talk to them. Okay. Write it down and tell your coach, I am scared to talk to this person. And they will walk you through a very simple, relaxed way of opening up a conversation with that person. So the last, as leaders that have been in this business the long time, the reason why we tell you for sure don't miss out on the chicken list is because we've all had a chicken list, and a lot of times what happens is that person joins another company, or they start taking products from another company, and you see it on Instagram or you see it somewhere else, and you're just like, oh man, it's like a dagger to the heart. It's like, I wanted to talk to that person and I didn't, and now they're working with somebody else. Jordan Kemper, who's one of my virtual mentors in the USANA business, he's got a great story of somebody that was on his chicken list, forgot to talk to him, and they ended up being a diamond director in somebody else's business. Right? You're talking about missing out on potentially $100,000 a year from one person because your ego got in the way and didn't allow you to talk to somebody. So remember, don't make up stories in your head about how impressive or important somebody is. Okay, you want to, in the magic of thinking big. I can't remember the author, but in that book, he's got this great visual of when you are communicating with someone person to person. Okay, remember, you're blowing up how big they are in your mind. A lot of times, these people are just people, right? They want you to just talk to them as a normal person. So he always says, double the posture that you think you have and half the posture that you think somebody else has. And what happens is you take yourself up, you take them down off a pedestal, and now you can communicate them, person to person. It's a really powerful image to remember when you're putting somebody on a pedestal. These are really people, like, even if they're not interested, the thing that's beautiful about the people in the chicken list is, even if they're not personally interested, a lot of times they're already successful people, and all they want to do is help other people, right? Maybe this is not for them, but you can say, do you have any referrals? Do you know anybody that is struggling with their health? Do you know anybody that's looking for an opportunity? And a lot of times they'll send you a lot of people because they can't help you personally in the business, but they want to support you in any way that they can. They're great for that. And you can use something called the indirect approach, which we're not going to go into now. We'll go into that in when we talk about contacting and inviting. But an indirect approach is where you're not asking the person directly to, purchase a product or to join your business, but you're going indirect, and you're asking them to look at some information for you, or to give you your opinion about something, or you're sort of indirectly sharing them information about USANA. It's very good. This is the next thing, is to think about the people who are ideal candidates for USANA. Okay, we call them pearls, and pearls it's kind of an acronym for a sifting device. Once you have your master list, then you want to start looking at, okay, who are my 5-star prospects, right? Who are the people that have everything that I'm looking for? Who's my ideal candidate? Okay, we call them pearls. So people-oriented people, right? They have very positive outlooks. They're outgoing, right? They're always there to lend a hand. They're putting positive stuff on social media. People that have entrepreneurial spirits, people that are always looking for a new opportunity. They're not afraid to take risks. They're open. They have open minds, and they're willing to hear what you have to say. People that are entrepreneurs, they can't turn their entrepreneurialism off. Okay, I know this personally. So if you know somebody that's an entrepreneur, ask them, man. Throw it out there. Hey, would you be open to looking at this opportunity? I got something new I'm working on. I think it's super exciting. Would you be willing to look at it and let me know what you like best? They're gonna say yes. That doesn't mean they'll say yes to joining you or doing anything, but if they're entrepreneurs, they wanna see it. And then the A is for your achievers, okay? These are your type A people. These are your go-getters. These are the people that are out there. They're looking for challenges. They're goal-oriented. They want to make it happen, and they are not afraid to get their hands dirty and to really work. The R is people that are recognizable. Okay, so these are people in your communities that are maybe pastors or lawyers or people that are heads of the community, the PTA, the local town hall meetings or whatever. Like people that are recognizable in your community or recognizable in a broader sense, um, like that. And then you want to look at your leaders again. So who are the people that are in the communities that you're involved with? Who do people go to for advice? Who are the people that are other people are looking to for guidance? Who are you looking to for guidance? Who are you looking to on social media in terms of, what are they doing? You're kind of looking at what you should be doing based on what they're doing. These are people who have influence. These are people who are leaders. These are people that you really want in your organization to help you grow and build. And then just successful people in general, right? Success breeds success. A lot of times, the people that are on that W, right, from the SOW, success on the same level, worse, a lot of the people that are in the W, they're there because they're not open. A lot of times they have bad attitudes. They're pessimists. They're people that feel like, oh, they can't be bothered, or, who am I to do something like that, right? Very, 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 very rarely, if ever, will you talk to a successful person and they're going to shoot you down. Okay. They might say, look, I'm super busy. I got multiple businesses going on. I don't really have time to add something to that. But like, God bless you. Keep going. They're going to give you positive reinforcement. Okay. You're never going to get somebody who's super successful that is going to shoot you down for taking a risk and starting your own business. Okay. So these are just great people to talk to. And then when you're looking at, obviously you're going through your list, you want to look at people, who do have, they have some sort of affluence, they have some discretionary income, people that are able to, do purchase the products. They're people that have authority in their communities, things like that. So these are people that they can afford to work with you, or they can afford to be on the products on a regular basis. USANA products are, in my opinion, probably the best value on the market, but they're not cheap, right? So people do have to have some purchasing power. Okay, and the second step after you've sort of gone through that process is really managing your list. Okay, so once you have your list, you have to put it into some sort of system. Okay. This is a mistake that a lot of people make, is that once you get going, how do you manage your follow-ups? When you start talking to people, it's very easy to start forgetting who you talk to about what, where did this person go? Oh my God, like that, right? So you need some way, like they call it a CRM if you've done any sort of sales or that type of thing. It's basically a customer management system. In USANA, we have something called the Customer Connect, which is an app that USANA has created. That's like you can swipe left or right, like Tinder. It's a great way to manage your contacts. I'm still learning how to use it myself personally. I use a Google Doc, which is a live document. It updates automatically as I'm going through. And some of the things that you want to put into your tracking system is where you found them, were they a referral, what conversations that you've had, what material you have sent them, right? Videos, links, different things. You want to make sure that you're tracking what conversations that you've had and what you've sent to these people, so that you can, remember what to say and when you're in the follow-up. The worst thing to do is you get on a call with somebody, or you get in a conversation with them, and you forget what you've talked about with them in the past. It makes them feel like they're not important. It makes you look unprofessional. Okay, so for your own sanity, and then also, if you can remember the name of people's kids, if you can remember what they do, where do they go to church, where they shop, if you can remember these things about people, they're going to feel really important. When you can remember little details about people, say the name of their kids, right? Hey, you can say, hey, John, you know, you're following up with them. Hey, John, it's been a while since we talked. How are the kids? How's the baseball team doing? Okay. You're immediately inside of their world. And when you know them, they immediately feel closer to you. So being able to really manage your list like a professional is a great way to make people feel connected to you. Have they had a presentation? And then always you want to have some part of your management system, your tracking system, that tells you what the next step is. So again, you're not forgetting where you are with that person. So this is a pro tip. You can use Google Docs so that you can share your list with your coach. Okay. The cool thing about Google Docs that Excel sheets don't have, I don't think, I could be wrong about this, but you can literally add your coach as like a member. I don't know if that's the right word, but basically attach the email address of your coach into the file, and they have immediate access to your file. So your file is going to constantly update as you're updating it. And like for me, I have Google Sheets on my phone. So like if I'm working with one of my associates and they've invited me to be a collaborator on that file, I can literally see how they're going when it comes to their contacts and inviting and everything, so that when we do our weekly coaching calls, I know exactly where they're at. So it's a great way to create accountability as well, so you can't hide. This is what mine looks like. Okay, so you can see name, how we met. I have a little form that I use to qualify people, right? So have they filled out the form yet? Have they seen the This Is USANA video? Have they seen the compensation plan? Have they watched the Rise of the Entrepreneur movie? Have they had a Zoom call or a video call with me? And have I met up with them personally? And then so you can see there the notes for the follow-up. Okay, if I showed you how many people would be on this list, you'd totally understand why you need this list. Because once you've been doing this for a while, you can have 2,000 people, and you need to be able to go back and figure out where you are with people, and you're not going to forget them. Okay, this is just it's imperative if you want to be a professional. And then really the last step 3, is to network on purpose. And that means to be an intentional network marketing professional. Eric Worre in the memory jogger document, he talks about the difference between a poser, an amateur, and a professional. A poser is somebody that has a mental list of about 10 or 15 people that they think are going to do it, and in their mind, if they get through those 10 or 15 people and nobody joins, or they're not successful, they're done. That's the end of their network marketing career. And then they'll go and say, that doesn't work. That network marketing doesn't work. Those are posers, right? These people they're not in good shape. Amateurs are people who, maybe they have a written list, but it's a dead document, which means it's just one file, and they go through, the people that are on that file, and the closer that they get to the end of that document, the higher their anxiety goes, because once they get to the end of that document, it feels like the end of their business. So if nobody joins from that list, that's the end of their career. Making the transition into a network marketing professional is where you want to be, and that is, there's no anxiety about running out of people to talk to, because there are 7 billion people in the world, and you can intentionally create ways to meet people all the time personally in your life. And then with social media, there's no reason why you can't do anything, right? So for those of you who know me, I have a big team in Indonesia. I can get on Instagram and Facebook and other social media apps and geo-target those areas, even cities within Indonesia. And I can meet people in, even today. I'll just share with you. Today I was meeting about 10 new people from one gym called JLES in Manado, which is a city in Indonesia. Okay, just simply on Instagram by looking up the gym and then looking at the people that work out there. Now I'm interacting with a group of people who probably all know each other in a foreign country in a little city like that. Okay, so there's no reason why you can't meet new people all the time. And networking on purpose means you're always looking for new ways, right? So you want to go where people are. Instead of going through drive-throughs, go inside, meet people in line, really get outside of your comfort zone. It doesn't mean prospect people, by the way. Okay. I'm not telling you to be one of these people who sits in the parking lot of a grocery store handing out flyers and trying to recruit people like that. Okay. Do not be that person. Okay, it doesn't feel good for you. It doesn't feel good for the other person. And that is not what we mean. We mean be creative. Find creative, authentic ways that you can build relationships and connections with new people all the time. Go to parties, right? Get new hobbies. If there's something, if there's you wanted to start going back to the gym soon, there's a fitness certification that you've been wanting to get. Like, these are opportunities to say, you know what? I'm going to do that, and then meet new people that way. Keep falling in love with people, connecting with new people, learning about them, and discovering whether you have something of value that you can offer to that person. And then remember the law of the second degree of separation, and that is that your people know people. Okay, so not just the members of your family, but who they know, not just your friends, who do they know. Think about all the relationships in your life and then who they know. You will be connected to some amazing people that you never thought you were connected to if you just branch out and see all the different connections and who they know. It's really amazing. And the last thing is, Romy talks about this again in Get Over Your Damn Self. A great book, by the way. This is a phenomenal book about network marketing, which is incredible. You can see there's a quote from Romy at the bottom. She says, simply put, if you look bad, no one is going to want to use what you have or have to offer or build a business so that they can have your life. Okay. And so what that means is always be in the mindset of business. Always be thinking about, am I representing my brand? Am I representing myself? Right? So instead of going out in the sweatpants with the holes in them and a hoodie with your slippers, right? Doll up a little bit. You know what I mean? Make yourself a little bit more presentable, because you never know who you're going to meet when you're out, right? You never get a second chance at a first impression, right? So you want to feel confident, and you want that person to want to know you again. You know what I mean? And if you in part of STI, we have 4 values, right? Excellence, integrity, loyalty, humility. Excellence means do the best that you can in every moment of every situation. Okay? Bring excellence to all the different areas of your life. It will have a profound impact on the way that you show up in your life and the people that show up in your life as well. So that's pretty much it. Once you've gone through this process, again, I encourage you to work with your mentor and go through what a direct approach is, what an indirect approach is, what a super indirect approach is, and actually break down your names list and figure out how you approach people, because you do approach people differently. Okay, you don't want to prejudge in terms of filtering the people that you're going to put on the list. But once you've made your list, it's good to be strategic in terms of the way that you communicate, because you do communicate with people differently based on the relationship that you have with them. And we, as your coaches and mentors in this business, we have a lot of We have a lot of experience in this area, and we can really help you do this process. So I hope that was informative for everybody involved. And what we're going to do now is that's the end of the presentation, and we will open it up to question and answers for you guys. Welcome, Inta. You're muted. Oh, I'm muted. I meant to put unmute everyone.
Yeah, sorry, I was in the meeting before. Sorry, I was a little late.
You are forgiven.
Okay, thank you.
So we recorded tonight's training, so obviously I can send you the recording of that. This is right where you're at in terms of your business. Inta is really sort of making the contact list and sort of going through this process. So I hope this video will help you.
Thank you.
I was able to keep it to an hour. I was hoping to keep it a little bit shorter than that, but that's all right.
Okay.
So do you guys have any questions? I see there's something in the chat box. Oh, yeah. Yes, I can send the presentation to you. No problem. You guys have any questions for me based on that information? Apps?
I don't have any specific questions. As far as the content, it was a great refresher for jogging the memory, and also the two acronyms that are new to me are PEARLS and MAC.
Mm-hmm.
So that's cool. I like those, the ideal candidate qualities to look for in people.
Yep. That's amazing. I actually got that from a diamond director when we've gone to the Philippines now, I think 3 or 4 times, and met all the $1 million earners from the Philippines. And they are amazing. They just give you everything. And when we were there, they invited us to it was an 8-hour training it's like basically an entire day workshop. And they went through each of the 7 skills. And they gave us that acronym, which I thought was amazing.
Mm-hmm. And then as you were going through the different people, I was thinking of different people that came to mind, and I was adding them to my Excel sheet or Google sheet that I have.
Good. Okay. So if you guys don't have any other questions, then when we can finish up, I'll put the recording in the group. And also remember, we have an STI YouTube channel. So I'm now going to be creating a playlist for our American team. A lot of the playlists that are on that YouTube channel are, they're me doing the trainings, but they're translated into Bahasa. So a 1-hour training, a lot of times like 2 hours, 2.5 hours. So I'm really committed to working with you guys and getting a lot of these trainings into English, creating a playlist. That way, as you guys also introduce new people into the business, you can use these videos as a way of walking them through a getting started process as well.
Okay.